いたわね。そうよ、あなたはもう理解しは黄金の魔女が存在。そしてその黄金の魔女ベアトリさあ、本当の魔女の復活を。黄金の魔女ベアトリ第9の晩に魔女はよみがえり、誰も生き残れはしない。
俺にはここまで徹底的に俺にはもう
わらわとそなたはここでそなたはわらわと再び戦う前にこのようなところで
その約束を破り、しかし俺にはこれはそもそも問題。容疑者以外は存在せず、その容疑者は全員白、赤で白だって言われてんだぜ。それでいて
No.
しっかりと
No.
犯人は人間でち
You're
ゃん
told
と目
that
の
all
前
the
に現
people
れて南條先生
alive
を殺し
were
たという。
innocent. Which those would be your suspects. Okay, never mind, go on. That it was a real homicide, that the culprit was human, and that they did appear before Dr. Narvaez and kills him.
もうお手上げだ。
頼むバトラー、思考を止めれば頼むか。わらわも応援しておる。
もう何も思いつかねえ。どうせあいつは魔女だから魔法とかでやったに違いない。ダメだ。
No.
考えたって無駄だからやめちまえって。
No!
考え
バトラー、チェスというゲームは相手を負かそうと互いが尽くすから。しかしどちらかが最初から勝ちを捨て自分にこれをフールズメイトという。
A fool's mate is, simply put, a strange way of playing chess, in which the fastest methods of losing are considered. Opening the area in front of your own king and inviting the opponent's queen in. Even though the average game time in chess is several hours, the game can be solved in a scant 4 moves. In other words, if both sides try to win in a fight, they are compelled to take a painfully long period of time. But if one side decides to lose, the game can be ended far too easily at any time.
人間側は思考を停止させることによって目の前の問題を魔女に譲る。木からリンゴが落ちることさえ直ちに魔法の死を。そしてそれは魔女は赤き真実を。それにて魔法の正体が人間で説明できて。
言われなくても考えを止めるなっていう。しかしあいつのあの完璧な真っ赤な手に俺には人間にはもう無理だ。
No.
無理か。バトラーに無理なのか。頼む。
Think.
くじけるな。
Think.
俺にはも
No!
う無理だ。
Bella scratched the floor, crying heavily. No. Beta watched that with a distressed face. Then she stood up and spoke to the witch.
わらわがそなたの手に。
へえ、この完璧なるチェックメイトにあなたはどう切り込んでくれるというのか。人間には決して破ることのできないこのチェックメイト、あなたごときがどう破るというの。
ベアトリーチェ、あなた人間にさせぬわらわが魔女であるがゆえにさせる一手で。
魔女であるがゆえにさせる一手。お前
わらわが赤にて魔女を否定する。ベアトリーチェ。
お嬢様。
Oh. The teacher and the butler were both startled. I also immediately understood what it meant. To use that red that only witches could use. To use the red to deny witches. It was like using her own sword to slit her own throat.
はあ、あんた何を言ってるの。
Yeah, no.
赤で魔女を否定。バカ言ってんじゃないわよ。そんなことしたらあんたも無事じゃ済まないわよ。
そなたは魔女に、そしてわらわもまた真の魔女への道は険しくまだまだ長い。なれば交通今この場にもとより魔女などわらわが自らそのまやかし。
私もあんたもしっかり堂々とした赤が使えることこそ魔女の証。
No.
あんたにとって魔女の定義がどういうものか知らないけど、あんただけは無傷で済むなんて勘違いをしているなら今。
勘違いなどしているも それで良いのだ。わらわはもとより真の魔女になるためにようやくその道のりを歩き始めたに過ぎん。もしそれは力に溺れただけのそなたに同じ偽りの魔女に、そのようなみすぼらしい未練などない。そなたもろともわらわ
正気、やめなさい。私はまだ魔女でいたいのよ。人間は嫌なのよ。
魔女様、どうかご着
The
席を。
witch sama.
人間側の受け手をどうかご着席の上お受けください。
何をするの。離して。その女に赤を使わせないで。やめさせて。離せ。
As the witch stood from her seat and tried to spring upon Beato, Renove pressed down on both her shoulders, forcing her back into her seat. Even after that, he didn't remove his hands from those shoulders. Denying witches was the same thing as denying magic. That included demons such as Renove. However, instead of running away, Renove chose to act as the facilitator for the game, to carry out that duty for his master's sake.
ベアトリーチェ、後悔はないのですね。
お師匠様こそごめん。いっぱい楽しい魔法や幸せな魔法を教えてもらったのに全然上手に使えなかった。だからゼロから修行やり直してくる。そのバカ弟子の不始末に巻き込んで。
良き弟子よ、最後にもてました。あなたの信じるままにお行きなさい。
お前ら
I
が
don't
何の
either,
話をしてる
but
の
I'm
か
very excited to see what it is.
俺にはさっぱりだがこれだけはわかる。そして言える。ベアト、何をしよう。これからやろうとしていることをやめろ。
そなたに手はない。しかしこの一手逃せばあやつは魔女として真の意味で復活し、全ての悪夢はこの島は永遠に邪悪なる魔女の妄想を繰り返す無限地獄に落ちるだろう。そなたは親しい家族たちが永遠に魔女の悪夢にもてあそばれてもよいと。
だがお前が犠牲になることなんてないだ。これは俺と奴のゲームだ。お前が身を犠牲にして手を刺すことなんてない。俺が考える起死回生の一手を必ず考えるか。だから早まるな。ちくしょう、絶対に思いつくから。だから早まるんじゃねえ。
このゲームはすでにそなたの兆候に制限時間を使い切っておるわ。もはや
God damn.
安心せい。バトル、わらわが撃つ。残酷なる魔女を。
待てベアト、やめろよせ。お前が自分を犠牲にする必要なんて。
わらわを否定するためにおかしなやつだ。
あの子の好きにそしてどうか見届けてやってください。
しかし
バトラー、一つだけ耳を塞いでくれぬか。
耳をどうして。
わらわはこれよりあやつの赤で敷き詰めた盤面をさすればわらわもまたそなたもわらわが語る赤き真実を聞き、そなた一人が耳を塞いだところそれでもそなたにだけはそなたの前だけでは
Damn.
頼む。
ベアトリーチェ様、魔女側問題ありません。どうぞ察してよ。
There are no problems on the witch's side. Let's fucking go at it!
あんたもただじゃ済まないのよ。あいつおかしいわ。私たちを巻き込んで自分も死ぬ気よ。やめて。否定しないで。やめて。
仮にも黄金の魔女。さあ良いか。 バトラの代わりにそなた15人が死に3人しか残らぬチェス盤にてわらわがこれよりその赤き真実にて偽りの魔女2人を共に貫いて殺す。
Beato turned around and smiled at Battler. Most likely, no one would believe that the witch who had gone to the limits of cruelty tried to leave a smile as the last expression she showed Battler. That smile signified her last wish. She wanted him to cover his ears. Denying witches in red was the same as knowing her shabby form. Battler put both of his hands against his ears to protect her final bit of honor as a witch. He put his hands against his ears, rejecting the truth. And he howled, so not even a bit of what she was saying would slip into his ears. After that was a world where Battler could hear nothing. Beato was saying something in red. Even the evil witch covered her ears with those bitter contents. That was the red truth. Words of power. Words that denied her own existence. Unique words that only witches could use, which denied witches. Beato spoke. With the red truth, she cut up the bright red game board that the witch had released. She explained difficult problems that could not be solved by humans, with moves that could only be solved by witches, and began cornering the witch. The truth that Battler was not permitted to hear. Battler had been broken his promise and sneakily eavesdropped. In an instant, Battler had probably been able to become the victor in his game with Beato. He would probably have understood all the riddles on the island, all the magic and tricks, closed rooms, spells, curses, legends, and this entire tale of anger and sadness. However, Battler would only learn what that was when Battler would only learn what that was when he reached the truth by himself. Yes. From the beginning, Beatrice had wished that Battler would reach that truth by himself. It was something one shouldn't reach by being told it. It was a truth that Battler would have to drag himself to by his own power. A brilliant light gathered with Beato and the evil witch at the center and grew gradually stronger. It was the power of truth. Its heat and brilliance, like the sun, shone on all the falsehoods that hid in the darkness, trying to deceive, and burnt them to nothing.
なぜあんたは死ぬ。こんなすごい力を持ち得ながら黄金も魔法、どうしてそれをあっさり。
山をなす黄金であろうと海を裂く魔法であろうと手に入らぬものがあることを知れ。さあ姿を現すがいい。その正体を表せ。後ろ宮エヴァ。
When the sun exploded and blew everything away, Ava could be seen there, holding a gun.
エヴァおばさん。
気づくのが遅いわよ、バトラ君。
Without any hesitation or mercy, Ava raised her gun and pulled the trigger. As an explosive sound rang out, Battler's heart was shot through, and he fell to the floor. After going into convulsions for a short time, blood dripping from his mouth, Battler died. But in his last moments, he realized without a doubt that she was a murderer. Not just for killing him. There have been many murders, and I don't have a clue how they were carried out. However, when my ears recovered, Beato exposed all of them, with the red, blasting away all magic. In other words, even though I didn't understand it, was that nothing more or less than proof that magic can all be explained with humans. Beato made me cover my ears, so I myself don't know the whole truth. However, now it's been denied in red, I can see one fact which is extremely unfair for us, that it is possible to deny all magic. So in other words, No, I must not think of that. If I do, the time I spent covered my ears will be made pointless. I'm going to can only regret my own actions. If at that time I'd thought of some move to spin things around and counter the witch's final move, there would have been no need for Beato to sacrifice herself. It was my own worthlessness that brought about this conclusion. Even though it was a pitch-black world where nothing could be seen, for some reason I felt Beato's presence right next to me. So I tried calling out to her. You can exchange words with someone whether they're human or a witch. So even in a world where witches have been denied, I should be allowed to talk to her.
ベアト。
バトラか。やったぞ。わらわ。
ああ、聞こえはしなかったが、俺はお前の姿を、お前が邪悪な魔女に毅然と立ち向かうところを。
これでもうわらわは魔女ではだが必ずわらわは再び魔女になるぞ。そして再び黄金の魔女と呼ばれるに至って再びそなたの対戦相手だと認められに帰ってくるから。
いや、お前は魔女だったぜ。俺は見てたぜ、お前がすっげえ魔法で吹き飛ばしてその正体を暴き出すところを俺はちゃんと。
あれは魔法ではなく赤き。
いや、お前は確かに黄金の魔女。お前自らが否定し、俺が認めてやるよ。お前は確かに黄金の魔女だ。
When Battler said those words, in the world that had been dark, there was suddenly a single grain. A small grain of gold, like a wheat seed, shone brightly. Even though it was small, it had a strong gold-colored sparkle. Then, it shone on the two of them, sitting with their backs together. So they each became aware of their own form. They did not exist only as consciousness. They became aware that they had bodies and definitely existed. No, perhaps we should say that they each had been given an existence called a body. When Battler looked at his own form, he wasn't that surprised. When Beato looked at her own form, she was a little startled. From Battler's perspective, she looked just like normal. But for a short while, she was surprised by that form.
あの光の粒の輝きが
That grain of wheat was
ど
no
んどん
longer
強くなる。
simply gold color, but was like the light of the sun. Then it softly began to approach Beato's chest. And that grain of the sun was sucked inside her chest. The world was wrapped in a deep blue sky, and that deep blue ocean was spread out below them. An island rose up, trees sprouted and created a forest, walls surrounded us all, and the ceiling swallowed us. It was adorned with more and more things. It ain't to be like the hall in the Ishiromiya mansion. In the middle of the fantastical hall were many gold butterflies beat their wings. Many tables were set up with white tablecloths like it was a party. And beautiful cooking and fruits were set out. And over there were a great many shapes. It was everyone talking together and smiling.
みんな
There was Dad and Kirei-san, Uncle Kraus, Aunt Natsu, and Aunt Rosa, and of course, even Aunt Ava and Uncle Hideyoshi. George Aniki, Jessica, Maria. Wait, even Shannon-chan and Kaneka, Goda-san and Kumasawa-san are here. Everyone was at that party, clapping their hands and celebrating our return.
「みんな死んだのにどうして生きてるんだ」
黄金鏡では全ての死者のお帰りなさいベアトリーそしてようこそ黄金鏡へようこそ
わらは黄金鏡への扉に至ったのか。
はい、お嬢様はつい全員を黄金鏡へお招きできたのです。ようこそバトラ様、黄金鏡へ。
バトラ、ようやくここへたどり着いたか。
俺は
お前はわしの魔法と相入れぬ血をもっとゆえにこの黄金鏡にお前だけがたどり着けず、ずっとベアトリーチェはそなたを探していたのだ。そなたをここへ連れてくるために。
なんだって。
さあバトラ様もお席へ。今宵の料理はこの5ダメの最高
I
傑作
don't
を
know
尽
what
く
to
しま
think
した。
about anything that's happening.
どうかぜひご賞味ください。
あんた光栄に本当は私が全部食べるところお情けであんたの部分もの。
7クイーン。
黄金鏡では意志ある者すここで我ら家具とて人間とて魔女とて区別はない。
バトラ様お待ちしておりました。そしてようこそ黄金鏡へ。
シャノちゃん、上司の兄貴。
僕もまだこれが夢じゃないかと疑っ僕たちは死んだはず。でも生きてる。そして全員が全員信じられない。
そうよ、どうせここは夢の中の世界だからジョージがメイドの女と仲良くしたって
予算かえば今は黙って若い二人を祝福せなあかん。黄金鏡は至福の都や。ここではいがみ合いは一切なしやで。
ここでは愛し合う者たちは全てが自由。
Oh, hell yeah. How progressive of you.
誰にも
Especially
は
in
ば
the
かれる
80s.
ことはない。
ジェシカちゃん、カノン君素敵。焼けちゃうわ。
なんだかそのバトラ様、ようこそ。そしてお帰りなさいませ。
Jessica was probably embarrassed because she was holding hands with Kana-kun. Kana-kun wanted to act humbly like a servant and bow. But since neither of them could let go of each other's hand, he couldn't do it so well, and the whole scene looked fairly comical.
使用人のことなんてダメです。うちのジェシカをやれる？
いいじゃないかね。好きな相手くらい自由に選ばせて。
ダメです、ダメです。うちもダメなのよ。ジョージ。
As Nazi and Anna Eva hugged each other, they cried tears of regret for their adorable children, even though they had always been at odds. It was a very bizarre scene.
いいじゃないですか。誰が誰を好きになったって。
Yeah, because no one likes you.
親が子離れしてない証拠ね。
Yeah, be more like Rosa, who isn't attached to her child at all.
俺はお前がどんな女を連れ帰っても
この人に紹介しちゃダメよ。すぐ手を出すからとっとと駆け落ちしちゃうのよ。
バトラー、やっとここへ。
マリア、お前は最初からここへ来ることになると。
Hell yeah, it's my little homie. I miss Maria.
だからマリアは何も怖くなかった。みんなは臆病でビクビク。面白かった。
なんてこ一番ずれてると思ってたお前が実は最初から真相を知ってたなんてな。
無礼です。マリア教に対してそのような口の利き方、とても許せません。射撃曲線形成、攻撃準備。マリア教いつでもこうに
お静かに。ベアトリーチェ様の御前です。
Genji, my man.
まあ固いことを言わずに今ははしゃいで喜び合いたい気持ちを察しましょう。それより乾杯の準備を始めようではありませんか。
さあさあ、自慢のいつでも配膳できますよ。
ほらみんな、少しは家具らしく働きなさいよ。
やだ、もっとつまみ食いするの。
Oh, shut it.
さあ働こう。お客人方を待たせるな。私たちはアクセク働き奉仕をしよう。
お客人たちに何もさせるな。武将にさせて怠惰にさせてコロコロと豚のように肥えさせろ。
ベアトリーチ、バトラ君、こちらへ。
Grandfather and Virgilia were staying on the landing at the top of the staircase, beckoning to us. Beato and I turned our heads to see what was going on and climbed the stairs together. In the hall, it looked like a very high stage. A small table had been set up there, as well as a piece of parchment and an old-fashioned quill pen. I saw that on the strange magical characters in Japanese were written side by side. And below it, many names were written. There were 17 of them. Grandfather was the first. Everyone's name had been signed all over it. The people who arrived at the Golden Land probably signed this one after another.
バトラ、心して聞くがよい。
黄金鏡は魔女の力だけで保たれて、そこで幸福を享受するすべての人間に、そのためにここには全員のサインが揃わねばならない。
前回黄金鏡の扉がようやく開いたが記憶にはないだろうがな。お前がサインを拒んだためこの世界を再び闇に閉ざしてしまったのだ。
みんなに色々と迷惑をかけたように聞こえるな。
そなたの頑固は折り紙付きであるからな。金蔵から受け継いでいるのは血だけではないらしいぞ。
Beato laughed amiably. I should have felt like she was making fun of me, but without thinking, I went along with her, laughing and smiling.
魔法とはすな奇跡は全員が信じ合わねば完成せぬ。そして最後のそなたが信じてくれることでこの奇跡は。
なんだかそれで俺はどうすりゃいいんだ。
まず次にベアトリーチェはここに。
羽ペンって使いづらいな。
I'm so... I don't know what's gonna happen next.
うわっ、
下手くそ、インクはじきは縁起が悪いのだぞ。自分の名前くらいとミミズがのたくるようにね。
お前こそカタカナで書くなよ。ベアトリーチェなんて洒落た名前なんだから。じゃあ羽ペンと名前が泣いてるぜ。
うるさいな。機体はテストの時は使うなと授業で言われなかったか。
これ厳かな儀式であるぞ。沈黙。
結構2人のサインが揃い誓約書の書式が揃いました。2人には宣誓を。まずはベアトリーチェから誓約書に手を添え、ベアトリーチェは良き魔女として人々の幸福のために今後も修行を続けることを誓った。
なんだかベアトリーチェは良き魔女として人々の幸福のために今後も修行を続けることを誓います。これでよいか。
よろしい。次はバトラだ。
バトラ君も同様誓約書に手を添え、後ろ宮バトラは黄金鏡の一員として自身と隣人の幸福のために奉仕することを誓います。
後ろ宮バトラは黄金鏡の一員として自身と隣人の幸福のために。俺も恥ずかしいぜ。
危険なのも今ここに黄金鏡を認める18人の人間全員の誓約が揃った。
When Kinzo proclaimed that, everyone applauded at once, praising us. Since I had been the only stubborn one and had just been a pain, I felt a little bad about being the most celebrated one.
それでは古式にのっとり最後に誓約したバトラ君に黄金鏡への招待状のサインを求めます。これは黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェを黄金鏡へ招くためのもの。
バトラ、読み上げるぞ。しっかり聞け。我々18人は黄金の魔女をベアトリーチェと認め。
なんだよお前。俺が招待状を送らないと。
そういう儀式らしい。わらわとて肩が凝るぞ。 さっさと終わらせようでは。わらわはさっきから腹が減ってか。
そういや俺も缶詰をちょいとつっついただけでろくなものを食ってないぜ。さっさとサインを済ませちまう。なになに、ずいぶんシンプルだなじいさまめ。
ほらほら、
そこにサイン。
Oh. 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 Not sure what I expected, but it wasn't that. Wasn't that.
はい、サインを。
With slightly weird and uncomfortable smiles, the two of them started demanding that I sign. At that time, an incredible sound like that of glass window breaking reverberated through the hall, and the bustling tumult faded back to complete silence. I dropped the quill pen and turned around trying to see what had happened. Who? When I did, where had she come from? A human who clearly hadn't been there a short while ago was in the very center of the hall looking up at us. Who's that? A girl? She's probably about the same age as Jessica and me. I didn't know that face. None of the other people here knew that face either. She's cute though.
なんだ貴様は何者だ。どこから現れた。わらわのパーティーに招待状なき客は必要ない。家具どもつまみ出せ。仰せのまま囲め。
Seven sisters of purgatory surrounded her from 7 directions, taking out magic blades that drew purple curves and blocking her. And from out of nowhere, shuffling goat-head servants appeared in great numbers surrounding that girl. On top of that, the Chiester sisters stood in front of Beato like a wall, wielding a golden bow and pulling back the bowstring. But the girl didn't move at all. On the contrary, she was still staring at us on the landing, as though she didn't mind at all. Who was she looking at? Beato? Grandfather? Could it be me? Yes. The girl was staring straight into my eyes, glaring. Then, after our eyes met perfectly, she yelled.
それにサインしてはダメ。自ら敗北を認めるの。魔女に騙されないで。
魔女に。
At that time, something incredibly strong lifted me by the nape of my neck. What's going on? After being made to turn around behind me, I saw Virgilia with an eerie smile on her face, and the muscular forms of goat monsters. A goat monster that looked about 2 meters tall was grabbing me with an arm as thick as a log.
招かれざる来客に耳を貸す必要。さあ、あなたはサインをするのです。
I ain't trusting a crazy bitch looking like that.
この宣誓書。さあ、この宣誓書にサインを。
離せ。
As the goat monsters held me down with the power of a vice, they forced me to grab the quill pen. Couldn't even touch the floor with my feet, much less resist.
バトラー、なんで抵抗するんだよ。さっきはコロッとサインして今さら心変わりなんてする。魔女を認めてもいいかなって一瞬思っただろ。思ったんだろ。
俺は騙され。そんなバカな。ベアトはそんなやつじゃ。
悪いなバトラー。こんなやつで。
Wow. Why did I believe it for a fucking second? Why? Like I said, I told you why. Because they introduced someone even worse, so I was willing to forgive that the person... Oh, God. My head hurts.
もうダメだ。 甘ったるい何や節はやっぱわらわの肌に合わねえや。お師匠様、力ずくで頼むぜ。地味な役回りだったんですっかり退屈してたんで。何者か知らねえがたっぷりぐちゃぐちゃのねちゃねちゃに糸が引くほどぶっ殺してやるぜ。女に生まれてきたことを後悔させてやるよ。
As Beata waved her gold pipe, the massive chandelier hanging in the hall was electrocuted, and from that, a terrible purple thunderbolt fell. Yikes! Jesus Christ. Should have been a direct hit on the girl right below it, turning her into ash. However, not a single hair was singed. Yeah. I like this chick.
ほう、飛び入りするだけのことは聞こう。名を名乗れ。
あんたに名乗る名前なんてないわ。それよりバカ、いつまで騙されてるのよこのお人よし。早く気づいて、これが全て魔女の罠であることに。
So, those words were aimed at me. This is all witch's trap, she says. It can't be. I had to reform to sort of become a good witch.
あと罠なんて嘘だよな。嘘だと言ってくれ。
悪いな、バトラ。結構面白かったぜ。しかしお師匠様の言う通りにしてみたんだが、本当なんでもツンツンと残虐を尽くした後に程よくへたれて出れてみせると好感度ってやつが大幅アップするんだろ。
A fucking
出
word.
て病んでる悪役が最近はイケてるって聞いたぜ。これでもよ、最近流行りの漫画とかアニメとかギャルギャーで結構勉強したんだぜ。そうしたらお前案の定お涙ちょうだいでコロリだよ。バーカ、本当に単純なやつ。これぞ名付けて北風と太陽作戦というわけよ。
そんなくそてめえ、よくも騙しやがったな。
ああ、その表情がお前の気遣うようなあの表情な。うわ、背中がかゆくなって残念でした、魔女。サインを頼むぜ、お師匠。飛び入り客はわらわの獲物よ。
さあ、あなたはもうこのサインを拒めませんよ。さあ、サインをして身も心も魂も捧げてしまいなさい。
When Virgilia lifted her chin as a signal, the goat monsters, with an even more vice-like power, forced my arm to approach the parchment. Ow, 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 ow. These guys are trying to make me sign, even if it breaks my arm. Oh? Redhead lady? Then a bright red light burst open with me at the center, knocking the witches and the goat monsters away. Oh? Did that girl save me? But who in the world is that? I don't have a clue. Me neither.
こんなところでいつまで遊んでいるつもりなの。いい加減にして。あなたが羨ましいわ、私は。
助けてもらってなんだが、ひでえ。すまねえがあんたどう
六軒島の魔女、彼は返してもらうわよ。
誰が返すか愚か者。バトラはわらわの玩具だ。わらわのお気に入りの世界で飽きぬぞ捨てぬぞ誰にも渡さぬぞ。バトラとて今を精一杯楽しんでおる。わらわと一緒にこんなにも楽しく遊んで、そなたが何者であろうとそれを邪魔だ。
ええ、本当に楽しそうね。 腹立たしいくらいに羨ましいわ。こんな素敵なところでみんなでワイワイ楽しく賑やかにたくさんの美人の魔女たちに囲まさぞや楽しくて帰りたくないでしょ
おいおい、そりゃ誤解だ。俺だって迷惑してる。何が楽しいもんか。俺の苦労。
何が苦労よ。お父さんお母さんと楽しく過ごしていとこみんなでキャッキャと遊ぶ愉快な魔女たちといつまでも永遠に遊ぶなんてあなたは幸せなの。あなたたちが羨ましいわよ。私も混ぜてほしいくらい。
あいにくだが、それわらわは手持ちの玩具で満足し、そなたのようなそやな玩具はわらわのおもちゃ。
分かって誰があんたなんかと遊ぶものですか。でも少しだけ感謝するわ。こうしてみんなに合わせてくれて。
お前誰なんだ。まさか。
ああ、わかったぞ。なるほどな。ベルンカステル教の送り込んだ駒とはそなたなの。
What?
気に入った。改めてそなたをたっぷり歓迎してやるぞ。バトラともども仲良く遊んで壊して殺して潰して灰にして
ああ、ダメね。全然ダメだわ。
Oh, she come
あ
with
ん
the
たにそれは
lines.
できやしない。1986年の六軒島何があったのか私が全て白日。あんたなんて真実という春に怯える霜柱でしかないことを教えてやる。
Fuck. You know, I've been sitting here waiting for this episode to end for like an hour. It just keeps going.
覚悟なさい、黄金ベアトリーチェ。
There's the credits. Can I skip credits? I can't skip credits. This is bullshit. Battler died on the 9th twilight. Oh, we're doing this shit again? Eva Beatrice. Yeah, that bitch. Oh! Ange. Is that what that was? Ange? Died on the 1st twilight, died on the 7th twilight, okay. Died on the 8th twilight, sure did. Why do I have to sit through the credits? 3rd game result, what is it? Zelda Golden Land once again crumbled into the darkness, however Victor finally appeared in the game of the Golden Witch. The Victor's new Golden Witch, Ava Beatrice, is she who saw the riddle before the time was up. The 17 all died. When the seagulls cried, there was but one survivor. My head hurts. Trying to comprehend everything that just happened. It's a lot, man. It's a lot. No more. Don't give me a post-credit scene. I don't want one. Cool. Addition of new features. Great. Cool. I need to end this recording session here. I'm sorry I'm not immediately jumping into the Tea Party and question mark events. Cause that's what's next, right? Yeah, okay. I'm not gonna jump immediately into it just cause I don't have the time tonight. That ended up taking a lot longer than I thought it would. I was expecting the episode to like wrap up 2 hours ago, quite honestly. But then, of course, plot twist after plot twist after plot twist, and now we're where we are. I don't have any thoughts. I don't have any thoughts. I really don't. Remember how I was praising this episode because of Beatrice's redemption arc? And then they kind of threw that away down the fucking toilet? And then everything that just happened... Yeah, I don't like this episode anymore. This episode's just been one giant fucking headache. Apparently this is the one people regard as like the best episode in the question arcs. I don't understand it. I don't. This wasn't enjoyable. It really wasn't. I had one moment of enjoyment, and then the game was like, no, you fucking don't. Anyway, next recording session, I'll start Tea Party and question mark events, and then we'll jump into episode 4. But for now, get in this one here. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I sure didn't. I'll see you guys next recording session. Till then.